the fourth quarter that they even let themselves get to do the whole whoop going downhill. It was the third quarter and that crazy, back and forth of turnovers where they just kept on turning the ball over.
The basketball is very bouncy.
I guess you can't sticky finger or what is it called, slippery fingers or whatever it is.
It is a very bouncy basketball.
Yeah, and it was like
that was incredible.
Couldn't keep track of it, but the long story short is, eventually Oklahoma was able to kind of make the most of their unfortune, and it just went out of hand again.
You know how
catch up.
We were just talking yesterday about how the Kings at times this year, they've had the look on their faces like, what's going to go wrong? And a team like the Thunder are the opposite. They know in a close game, especially against a lesser team, you can see that they, even if it's tight, they know we're good.
Yeah, and there's no panic.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even matter who's out there, who's not out there. Again, SGA was out there for parts of the fourth quarter, but really not much. I think he's not played in 9 fourth quarters this season, which is insane.
Mm-hmm.
But they're still winning every game.
Yeah.
And doing it most of the time with somewhat ease.
What is going on with I don't want to call him your guy because you didn't pick him today.
Dang it.
But what is going on with Zach LaVine? Maybe he's hurt. But last night, he had 10 shots. What do you have, 2 in the second half?
Mm-hmm.
So I understand if he has the back barking or something, that obviously is difficult to play through. But I don't think it's great when Schroeder takes 21 shots, DeRozan takes 12, Precious takes 12, and Zach LaVine's only taken 10 shots. We've talked about that a lot. The Kings need him to shoot a lot.
It's ridiculous if you think about it, because I know that you can go back, and I've read some columns with Bulls fans that are like, aha, told you guys so. He did this here too, where he was spotty, and at times you believed he could be that lead scorer night in and night out, but then he would go through these lulls where he wasn't. And when you started the season looking at Zach LaVine's game, he was really good to start the season, and you felt like he could be that guy. 5 out of 6 games, scoring 30 points or more. I mean, he was shooting the ball, and then the injury happened where I think he was sidelined for one of the games against the Hawks, it was, I believe. But he really, after that especially, just not taking shots. When he does, they're not going in. 3 points in terms of his three-point shot has gone down.
Yeah.
He was 0 for 4 last night in terms of three.
I keep looking at this, Kayla, and seeing 4 for 10, and I think I must have just the second half box.
Isn't that wild?
That's the whole game, 10 shots.
The whole game.
Yeah.
Zach LaVine not being able to even be a piece you remember doing anything in the game.
And Dennis Schroeder, I'll tell you what, he makes a couple of shots. Look out. Yeah. He's shooting. He thinks he's got the green light tonight because a few went in. 21 shots for a guy that when they brought him here, they said, we need a point guard. We need a true point guard. So you bring him in, and then when he makes a few shots, other people aren't getting shots.
And that's off the bench, Kevin.
Yeah.
It's one thing, you're not starting him now, and maybe he's playing better, but you are starting other guys that should be taking more shots.
I think so, yeah. And I know he hasn't been shooting well, and the ball was going in. But Doug Christie talked last night about the frustrations, which is certainly understandable, especially for him. But I was thinking about it from a fan standpoint, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think there are about 3, 4, 5 different things right now about this team that fans could say, that's really frustrating to me. Obviously, the losses are frustrating for everyone. But when you drill down on it, a lack of a clear direction for the whole franchise, I think that's frustrating. Refusal to address some of the roster issues. You look at the roster like, wow, that roster is way out of whack. Yeah. How long has that been now since it's been way out of whack? Why don't they do something about that? Young players not playing as much as a lot of us think they should be playing. Continued discussion of, wow, they're not playing hard enough. That's very frustrating. So there's a number of things for Kings fans right now, even those who accept, all right, they're probably not going to compete for a championship this year, but still, why does it have to be this maddening and frustrating?
And I would love to hear from fans too, like in the chat, or if you want to call in, because you just listed a whole bunch of them that I would agree with you. I haven't been here. I'm not a fan. I'm covering the team, but there have been people who have been fans for years and years and years through the thick and the thin, mostly the thin. But I would think their frustrations. Maybe.
Okay.
Anytime I can.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, I am curious to what are people the most frustrated about? Because it's different from what a coach is frustrated about. Doug Christie is clearly frustrated. Even when you ask about offense, he goes out of his way to say, I'm not addressing that. Well, unfortunately, right now, this team is not the defensive team that you want it to be, and it's probably not going to be that way for another couple of years if you're around to get the right guys in your system. So unfortunately, right now, you have to pick at the offense because that's what they are built to do right now is score.
Yeah.
And they're not doing that even.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right.
So
I hadn't listed that.
Yeah.
When the coach says, and I get it, when someone says so-and-so's not shooting well, he says, I'm not worried about the offense right now. He's not, because they are trying to emphasize the defense. But somebody needs to be worried about the offense. They scored 99 points last night. I agree with you.
Yeah, it couldn't even get to the century mark. And I went back and I do remember, because we were on the note of Zach LaVine, and his frustrations have actually gone back for a while now, because I remember at the beginning of November, they played in a game, and he had had the presser afterward, and he had mentioned somebody had asked the question about the defensive identity. And he says, we've all been trying. I've been trying my you-know-what off on defense, but you need a team collective, the right identity. Sometimes you need the right personnel out there. And then he went on to say, he even gave an example. You're not going to ask Rudy Gobert to go out there and average 30. So he kind of took a little bit of a jab in a way right there where you could see the frustration starting to boil. And again, ever since then especially, it's just kind of went downhill for him.
Years ago, I remember being in the Giants clubhouse. This was a long time ago. Chili Davis was playing. It was the end of the year. The Giants were having a good year, but he was not having a good year. And it was the last Saturday of the season, and he ended up having a pretty good game. They were getting ready to go into the postseason against the Cardinals, I think. And somebody asked him about, are you coming out of your slump, slump and all this stuff, and what's it like going through a slump, and is it frustrating? And I'll never forget this. And these two things go hand in hand, I realize, but Chili Davis said, it's not so much frustrating, it's confusing, because he said you got so many people telling you different things.
Yes.
And like I said, I know confusion and frustration they're blood relatives.
Yeah.
But I think for a lot of Kings fans right now, a lot of it is that too. It's like, just more confusing than a bad team should be.
It is. And it's because you do have those pieces that, in terms of individual scorers and individual guys who are going to be Hall of Famers and all of that. Like, there's a lot of that on this team, but it's just like, how is none of this coming together to at least win a few more games or win the games that you should be winning or not get blown out? That's what's frustrating too. And then to know, what is the direction? Do we have hope that they're going to draft right? Are they going to do the right trades?
Right.
Are they even going to play any of these youngsters after December? I mean, yeah, I'm assuming if they make moves, they're going to, but why not put more of them in now? Because I'm sorry, Neat Clifford getting 9 minutes of play last night, I don't agree with that.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Pam has been hanging on. Hey, Pam, you're on the Drive Guys program. What's up?
Thank you. In any sport, there are basic things basic rules you have to follow. And I think the reason why we have so much frustration is the management is just not following the basic rules. The team isn't structured right. So Doug Christie is frustrated because he can't get any defense. Players are frustrated because they know they're not structured correctly, and they have certain limitations in certain parts of the game. And I'm frustrated as a fan because I'm tired of waiting 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years for them to realize that you need to follow the basic rules and structure the team correctly.
Thank you, Pam. Very
Great
frustrating.
point.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't even care if they win or lose at this point. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pam. Yeah. I laugh not because it's funny. It's absurd.
Yeah.
This is where we are.
But it's a good point. And I'm sure there's a lot of fans that would agree with her. Like, we just want to get the basics right. Can we start from a foundation of some sort that makes sense? And it just seems right now like they're not willing to completely fix the foundation. And so what else is going to stand on there, right? As many times as you try to rebuild, if the foundation's still sinking.
Yeah, if you
You
got
know?
that shaky foundation and they go one way, that's not working, come back another way. Well, that didn't work. And it's like, well, you have to stick with something at some point. Garrett on Sactown Sports. Hey, G, what's up?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good.
Pam nailed it. I mean, she absolutely nailed it. The other thing is, I don't know why we do this, but our guys will drive to the hoop, and it's like, oh man, they're like clear lane to the hoop almost, and then they it's like they need to try to get flashy and pass it, and it's like what? Just take the 2 points, take the points, any points, that and free throws. Oh my goodness. Oh, man, the free throws. That's all. I'll take the comments off there.
No, it's a great point. I hadn't brought that up. You're right. They didn't. Let me put it this way. Oklahoma City's free throw defense was very good last night. That's what the.
That's great.
That's the nicest way.
So if they couldn't be better at it's another thing they're good at, free throw defense.
And that's, I think, the lament of any basketball fan ever. Doesn't matter what era. When your team's now making free throws, it's extremely frustrating.
Yeah.
15 of 23 last night.
Yeah, they're one of the worst in the league. Bottom 5, shooting an average 75% at the line. Like, it's not good enough.
And I don't think they get to the line enough. Anyway. So when you do get there, you got to make it count.
Exactly. Yeah. And I get what you're saying about driving the lane, and like sometimes I feel like when they get there, are they scared to like just go for the shot? Because you're right, they get fancy sometimes in the paint. And you're like, what are we doing? We just turned the ball over again.
Yeah.
Like, just take it to the hoop and, like, try at least to do it once or twice so you can feel like you have some confidence doing it. I feel like everyone's scared of, like, driving.
What frustrates me more, I'm not disagreeing with Garrett or contradicting him, but as we're talking about that, I'm just thinking at the other end and how often other teams just get right to the rack.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, right down the gut.
Like a punch.
And then it's just like, lay it up and in.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
So it's opposite. You're exactly like you look at the opposite end, and it's like it's almost like they're what is that? Like they're parting the sea.
Yeah.
For
it's like, do they only have
them
4
to come
guys?
in, and score. Yeah.
How is that happening?
It's wild.
Let's see here. Oh, what do we have, Jay? Does this have to do with one of your favorite players? No, I don't have Shams.
No, unfortunately,
I got a different notification here. What do you have from Shams?
We go to breaking news.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
When it breaks,
we have it first.
It's Sactown Sports breaking news.
Yep, just coming in, according to Shams Charania of ESPN, Sacramento Kings star center Domantas Sabonis has suffered a partially torn meniscus in his left knee and will be reevaluated in 3 to 4 weeks. Sources tell the 4-letter.
Well,
yeah,
that's not good.
If you're going to have a knee injury, that's not the worst you can have. But, Jay, I had not seen that. So when you started with Sacramento Kings. I had no idea where you were going.
Me either.
Then Domantas Sabonis had no idea where you were going.
Yeah.
I was thinking trade.
Yeah, me too. So obviously that is not anything close to good news. But, 3 to 4 weeks without Domantas Sabonis, which also, if you were at some point going to be in position perhaps to move him, complicates that as well. But main thing is hope he's feeling better.
Yeah. That stinks. He has had some really, and I know like his past, like he's gotten beat up, but he plays through it. He's had a rough go to start the season in terms of injuries, and that rib couldn't have felt good either playing through that. But this isn't great. It's not the worst, like you said, Whitey, but it's not great in terms of, hey, you just get back Keegan Murray, and you want to see if having your full arsenal works a little bit better with the easier schedule down the stretch if you're all about winning games. And now it's like, well, we're going to have to wait now again on this.
I would think that if you're just looking at this logically and you're one of the decision makers, this takes you out of any contention for a play-in spot.
Yeah, I think so too.
Organic tanking has already occurred. The fix is in. And then when we say the fix, we don't need anyone to investigate anything going on, FBI, about gambling. The fix is in. The basketball gods have already spoken.
Right.
This has got to be an organic pretty close to tank.
Yeah. And not to muddle things even further, but this is what I thought you might have been alluding to, Jay.
Yeah.
This is not breaking news, but from Yahoo Sports, sources say your guy LaMelo Ball is open to a trade away from the Hornets.
Well, you know where he's going. He's going to L.A.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any other way
I don't know if there's any room for him there now. I've always thought he was going there, but now I don't see how he could go there.
Maybe not Lakers, maybe Clippers.
Oh, yeah.
You just never know.
True.
It's crazy. I saw a trade today, like a trade scenario from a Lakers beat writer. They want Keon Ellis and Devin Carter, and they're like, we'll give you Dalton Connect. Which is funny because I know we've had conversations before about Connect, but like they clearly threw him out to the trash a while ago.
Right.
They kind of gave up on him, but I thought that was funny. I was like, yeah, I don't think fans would love the fact that Keon Ellis would be out of here.
Yeah.
You're
You're a Dalton Connect guy, right? Because of his
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Love him.
I don't think he got a fair shot, guys. I think with another team, he could actually maybe find his way, but not going to be with the Lakers.
How about Andrew joining us here on Sactown Sports? And again, we just found out, thank you, Jay, for that breaking news. Domantas Sabonis, meniscus injury is going to miss at least 3 to 4 weeks. That's when he'll be reevaluated. Andrew, I hate to make you follow that, but what's on your mind?
Yeah, I was going to say I hate to be the first caller after that news. But
make it all better for us, Andrew. Yeah.
But no, man, I want to piggyback off what Garrett was saying and even Caleb about the turnovers. We had 5 fast breaks in a row last night in the third quarter, and each fast break turned into a turnover. Mm-hmm. So it's like you talking about practicing the offense. We got to at least practice on the dang fast breaks, man, because that's crazy. And then I want to get you guys' opinion on this because I was talking to a couple of guys last night about Keegan Murray being back. There was a couple of incidents last night where, on part of those fast breaks, Precious Achiuwa would be the one either catching the ball or leading the fast break for some particular reason. But I feel in the pick and pop, because Achiuwa doesn't like to shoot the 3 ball, I feel like Keegan Murray will help us in that category where he's not afraid to shoot the 3, and I feel like he's a better finisher at the rim. I just want to get your guys' opinion on that.
Yeah, thank you,
Andrew.
Yeah, you're right about the transition opportunities that they squander, especially it's basic basketball. When the half court, you're struggling in the half court, you want to get out and run, and you want your defense to trigger fast breaks, but you can't just throw the ball out of bounds. Throw the ball away. Dribble it off your foot.
Yeah, it's almost like they get kind of in their heads in terms of how fast down there and controlling the ball. And you're right with Achiuwa. By the way, made 1 3 last night. But you're exactly right. I think the hope is that having Keegan Murray back in terms of his pass. Now, I know last year was a little shaky with the 3 ball, but Keegan Murray has been known for being able to shoot the 3. Let's just hope he has that in his arsenal this year, coming back and healthy now.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, if the ball goes in, he starts to realize some of that potential we all know is there. Precious Achiuwa, by the way, and I'm glad that he was just mentioned there because his numbers were incredible last night for him. 15 and 9. He had 3 assists and he had that weird, unfortunately hurt his knee a little bit. Incredible finish where he turned and he got fouled and they didn't call it.
Yeah, that
was amazing.
He was on. I mean, he was on it last night. I'll tell you that much. And I think I've been pretty happy with what they've got from him so far. Being a free agent signing, no one wanted him. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think he's done an okay job. I know he's not a shooter by any means. That's not what they need. I think he's done what he's needed to do in that role so far. But now with Domas out, again, it's just like going to have to keep on doing it.
Yep. Also, Max Reynaud played really well last night.
He did.
For limited minutes.
Yeah, and he got in there clearly because, Domas wasn't there. But I think now we're going to see why not? Mm-hmm. Why not put him out there more now and give him more minutes and have him feel more confident? Because he did look good. He looked okay.
I think that gets us back to one of the main frustrations fans have. As you said it, why not play him more? Why not play Neat Clifford more? Why not play Keon more? So why aren't they playing more? I might have the answer. See what you think of this theory when we come right back. Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. For your Thursday, things beginning to dry out, but we can't rule out a stray shower or 2 this afternoon into the early evening. Overall, though, cool day today with partly cloudy skies and upper 50s in the forecast. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The Honda 2025 Accord Pilot and Ridgeline Clearance Event is underway right now at Elk Grove Honda, and that means savings for you. Right now is the right time to save. Come see us at Elk Grove Honda, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda. Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She can get a deal. Book telehealth if she feel.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
This Sponsor the Clock is brought to you by Light the World Giving Machine.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-838-6767. That's 800-838-6767.
With Progressive, it's easy to reach customer service with our app, website, chat, or by phone. Because when getting help is hard, it's not help at all.
Little help. A little help over here.
Thank you for calling Bench Press Assistance.
What?
Due to excessive gym volume, all available spotters are currently lifting heavy weights off the chests of other bench pressers.
Seriously?
Please continue to hold, and we will remove the barbell from your chest in the order in which your cry for help was received.
Getting assistance should be easy. With Progressive, it is. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Honey, look. 4 calling birds.
Do they have cell phones?
Well, yeah. They're called calling birds because they have 4 lines of Cricket 5G.
How do they pay?
Oh, easy. Each line is only $25 a month.
Who are they calling?
Beats me. One sec, gotta take this.
Join Cricket Nation and get 4 lines for $25 per month each. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. New lines only. All lines must be selected. Unlimited plan fees. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. See cricketwireless.com for details.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
Now is the time before winter is full on in your kitchen to make sure your heat or your furnace is ready. How do you do that? Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating will get the job done for you like they did for me last winter when our system crashed and burned in the dead of winter. Check them out, leesair.com. Right now, get $100 off any AC heating or plumbing repair. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating does it all, and they've been doing it at a high level for 40 years. See how they can help you stay warm and cozy all winter at leesair.com. That's Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating, license number 635355.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options, heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's Trex.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or
listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Got unfortunate news a few moments ago on the Kings. Domantas Sabonis, you know that he was out last night. You know that he was out tonight. He's out with a sore knee, and the knee is more than sore. Kings announcing that Domas has torn meniscus, so he's going to be out, 3 to 4 weeks before they reevaluate, which just stinks.
Yeah.
Just about any way you want to slice it.
It does. And I know yesterday when he was on the report for having something with the knee, I personally didn't think it was anything too serious. Because if anything, I thought the rib might be something that nags at him because he's had a hamstring, a rib, and now obviously the knee issue. I wasn't thinking anything serious. So when this breaking news came down with JC and that from Shams, I know you said you were like, what is this? I was guessing it was a trade. And so the knee thing was a surprise to me, but 3 to 4 weeks is what he's saying.
Mm-hmm. And thank you for actually clarifying, because I said the Kings announced, but it's actually Shams reported it. I don't know if the Kings have actually announced anything yet.
Not yet. I haven't seen it.
Yeah. So the only concerning thing about Domas missing time with the sore knee is he plays through just about anything. You know, he played through the broken thumb a couple years ago. Ribs, who knows how badly injured the ribs really are, but he played through that. So, he's not playing because of his knee. I was wondering if there was something up. I didn't think it would be that bad, but we'll see. We know that some fans are trying to find the silver lining. Mm-hmm. Is it Ken Holm here? I'm sorry, we're getting a lot of messages here, so it's hard to keep track of who says what, but there you go. Jeff M. Kings suddenly start playing amazing and go on a winning streak without Sabonis. I mean, it could happen. That'd be surprising. But there's been a lot of
crazier
things that have been surprising about this year.
Yeah, I think the biggest frustration that I would have as a fan would be, man, we just can't seem to get a break. And I know you guys are used to that as fans. You're like, what are you saying, Kayla? We never can get a break. But even with this year, Keegan Murray being injured, and you're waiting for all this time, and I know the Kings have dug themselves in a hole, but I honestly wanted to see what it would look like with somewhat of a full starting lineup.
Sure, and you know they did too, yeah.
And now that's not going to happen at least for another several weeks.
Yeah, Tony Bray Harvey says King's about to tank it up. There's an old Cars song, I think. Shake it up.
I love that
Tank
song.
it up.
Tank it up.
That's where I think
maybe we can find that.
This may be headed.
Yeah. And
3 to 4 weeks before he's reevaluated.
I know. So maybe it's not even, you're not going to get him back then either. But another thing that's interesting is when you read and listen to a lot of the reports out there, he is kind of being used as the biggest trade piece, Domantas Sabonis is. And so it is going to be interesting now with him being injured, and this isn't, again, the first injury he had this season. Mm-hmm. I don't know what you can do right now with that even.
To that point, Kayla, we'll mention this, we'll get in, we'll get out. We're not going to belabor it, don't worry. But you know that people have been talking about Domas, where would he be traded to? Mm-hmm. Wow, he could be a good fit in Golden State. What would the Kings get back? Jonathan Kuminga.
There it is.
Just going to mention it, and then we'll move on. Because now Jonathan Kuminga, as you may have heard today in the station, maybe you've read this yourself, maybe you heard it yourself, maybe you've talked to Jonathan Kuminga, for that matter. But according to our friend Slates at ESPN.com, Jonathan Kuminga is now feeling like he's a scapegoat for things going wrong in Golden State. So
this is wild too, real quick, because we started the season before it started with Alan Stiles and the Kuminga watch, and then we talked about it on this show some. But then he seemed to be fitting in quite nicely in the starting lineup, and it was all going well.
Jay doesn't leave. We're not going to talk about.
We're not going to talk about it.
You know,
we're not. And then I'll just say it came back around.
It did.
It didn't maybe work out as we thought it would.
It never left.
Yeah.
I mean, we're 3 weeks into the season, and he's already feeling he's got some resentment.
Yeah.
I mean, it was there all along.
It was like the chickenpox virus. It's there, but it's just dormant.
Yes.
Exactly. Just needs to fester to the top.
It comes out when you're 50.
You
Dang
get
it.
that flare out. Yeah. Anyway, so that just further complicates a lot of things for the Kings right now, but mainly hope that Domas recovers quickly.
Yeah.
So maybe it is time for Max Reynaud to play more.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a great question. Why not? Why isn't Nick Clifford playing more? Why isn't Keon Ellis playing more? Why hasn't Max Reynaud been playing more? My theory, I know I've mentioned this before, it's the only thing that makes sense going around and around and around on it. I think the Kings are looking at some of the guys that are veterans and make more money that they would like to move if they can. And when you have a glut of guards and you're looking to maybe move somebody, you want to play some of those older guys and show other teams these guys can still play. I know we had Sean Cunningham in on Monday. Sean said, well, the idea of showcasing some of these guys is insulting to scouts because scouts know what they can do. Scouts know who they are. To me, the other factor, though, is that these are, in some cases, older guys, and it's important to show the rest of the league they can still do it at a high level.
Yeah.
And a guy like Malik, who's having a really good shooting year, you're showcasing. That's my guess. And otherwise, I don't know why you don't play a guy like Keon when you're saying, hey, if you defend, you will play. He defends, he doesn't play. That's all I got.
And that's all really I feel like I could figure out, too, with this whole situation. But then you even think about, okay, who's your biggest asset in terms of trades when it's time to do the business? And again, I thought it was Domas. I think a lot of people think it's Domas in terms of need on teams. And I think DeRozan, you can say, yeah, well, maybe there's certain teams that would want him, but what's the return on that? And then with Zach LaVine, like, yeah, there might be a team that takes a chance on his up and down past couple of years, but then the price tag comes into play with him. So even you're showcasing these guys and like, hey, they still have it, or they can, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know how really much they're going to be needed.
Yep, you're absolutely right. And not to belabor this, but I talked to Jerry Reynolds today, and I asked Jerry a few things about something I put together for the website about the last time the Kings did a rebuild, because we think they're rebuilding now. Looks like it. And I know a lot of people have said they've never rebuilt before. And Jerry on our show said they did one time when they got Chris Webber and there was a lockout and they rebuilt everything. And I went back and looked at it. It's incredible. That offseason, they traded Mitch Richmond for Chris Webber. Yeah. They brought in Vlade. They drafted Jason Williams. They got Peja over. John Barry signed. And Vernon Maxwell. And and Scott Pollard is a free agent. They rebuilt the whole thing in like 2 months or something. It was incredible, and it worked. But I asked Jerry about, okay, well, is there anything that happened then that applies to now? And he said, to the point you just made, Kayla, he said, sadly, no. And he said, they don't have cap space, which the Kings had back then. And he said, the other thing is, they had back then Mitch Richmond. Yeah. And they knew they could trade Mitch Richmond, and they could get something really valuable back for him, which they did in Chris Webber. He says, now, don't think they have that.
What, I mean, in your guys' opinion, was Domas the biggest piece for you guys that you would say too, or do you disagree with me?
I disagree. I think you have Keegan Murray. I think it's it comes down to the decision on if you want to utilize him or not. When you're talking about Mitch Richmond, you're talking about an all-star, multiple time. You know, people are interested, could shoot it. I think the Kings have an asset or two. It's all about, do you believe they're going to be here for the future?
Okay.
Do you want to attach yourself to the future? And I'll say this. I think all the frustrations and everything that you guys have discussed so far, in reality, the truth of the truth is, I think if you ask most Kings fans, the frustration lies within the front office.
Yep.
Above the front office, the ownership group.
Yep.
The people running the show. Like, I hear all the playing. I get all the understanding of this person's supposed to play and all that good jazz. But we continue to, like, we have to start to come to the grips of, there is something that is consistent throughout that people are having an issue with.
And you're talking about throughout like years.
Yeah.
More than a decade.
Not this year.
Yeah.
Not, not last week, not 2 years ago. And it's a great point in what you're saying, Whitey, when you talk about Jerry Reynolds, which is, it's not the same. Jeff Petrie, the Maloofs, completely different than the ownership group, and 4 or 5 from Monty to Vlade to D'Alessandro to now Scott Perry. Scott Perry being here for 2-3 months. Like, even when you look at that, you got to take a step back and say, well, why were you here for 3 months? And then why'd you go? Like, what made you go? Probably money. No disrespect to that, but I'm saying you got to really dive deeper into the situation. And I think that's when you guys talk about the foundation, however you want to word it, that's it. There's no foundation. There's no foundation.
Right.
And the foundation that we have is so shaky because we haven't heard or seen or hasn't been demonstrated to us that the foundation has been fixed.
Yep.
That's 100%
And you hit it right, the nail right on the head. And I think from what I've realized coming into this market, coming from a market where I wasn't covering NBA in the town, but I was covering NFL, and that was the cloud in the room always too, was ownership. And not a lot of people wanted to talk about it year after year, but in the last couple of years, it became such an issue. Like this is the problem from the very, very top.
Yeah,
and that's what it's now. It's glaring, like it's obvious.
Yeah, Jay, I think it was. You're right, Kayla. Absolutely right. I think it was Zach Lowe this week on his podcast, and I think he was talking about the Rana Dive ownership and Vivek running the team, and he said, if you were doing things for a long time and they just didn't work, never worked, wouldn't you at some point realize you should try things differently? Wouldn't you realize, especially we're talking about smart people, right, that make millions of dollars in business. Wouldn't you realize, maybe the way I'm doing it isn't working? Wouldn't you realize that at some point?
Yeah, and you guys fill me in on this, but the thing over there with Amy Adams-Strunk, the owner for the Titans, the thing with her was there claims to be people that she has around her that aren't giving her the right moves or the best information, because she's not making the moves, but she's obviously going with what her surrounding people are telling. Does he have people around him that are telling, or is he making those moves or bringing those ideas to the table? That's the other question.
Yeah. Unfortunately, those are the things that people are asking.
Okay.
And, depending on who you ask, you have Sam Amick who says, there's some people that he trusts. And let me also say this, because this is the easy point, and I want to make sure this is a bigger umbrella. This isn't you're the person that we're pointing at, one name, one person. Vivek owns 19% of the Sacramento Kings.
But he is the managing partner.
He is the managing partner. Mm-hmm. But when you're talking about 100% of something and you have 19% of something, there's a lot of hands in the pot.
Yep.
So when I say foundation, I consistently talk about everything across the board. However, and I'm answering the question of what you're asking, Whitey. We're getting deeper in it, but I'm keeping it bird's eye view. When you ask about frustration, when you talk about the problems that Kings have with this organization, it's truly two or three things. The lack of decisiveness. Where are we going? I know where we came from because we consistently talk about it every single week. Well, and the legend just said it, and you talked about it with the legend. Well, in 96 and 97 and 98, that's all fine and dandy. It's 2025, though.
Right.
We have to have some direction of where we're going. That's part of it. The second part is what I think they're trying to change is the culture. The 6 principles. Mm-hmm. Believe what you want to believe, but I believe if there's anything they've accomplished, they've done a good job, meaning the Kings of saying the right things. And that's why we're consistently talking about every single day where you're saying one thing, but you're showing us another. So, but they're all together. You can't play and think you're going to be decent when the foundation of who you have as players is terrible.
Yep.
Right.
So,
it's like building a house on uneven ground.
Yeah.
It just goes back to the beginning of the foundation is not there and the decisiveness is not there. Mm-hmm. And once those 2-3 and the culture, those are the 3 things for me. And that's why, please correct me if I'm wrong. We sit here and take phone calls, text messages, the chatto. We're out and about. Kayla, you're getting ready to start getting stopped, so be prepared and be warned. Those are the 3 things that we hear. Now, you could throw names out there. Oh, Pete D'Alessandro, he should have did this, and we should have drafted this person, and we shouldn't have did that. All that means nothing when your foundation ain't right.
You're talking about symptoms as opposed to, if you will,
the causes.
Yeah. I was going to say the disease. That's
disease.
Probably not appropriate to say, but just using
I changed the word,
metaphor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, we'll come back with more on that. It's the Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
The San Francisco 49ers play on Sactown Sports 1140.
Touchdown 49ers!
Every game on your #1 sports station. Don't miss the action on your local sports leader. Sactown Sports 1140.
Around here, Maverick is more than a name. It's who we are. My dad climbed power poles for a living, and he taught me to keep homes running when it gets cold. This November, donate 5 canned foods to our holiday food drive and choose a furnace tune-up or an electrical safety check. We'll collect your cans at the appointment and keep your heat comfy and your lights steady. So the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com. Limited November appointments. Some restrictions may apply.
Sacramento, the wait is over. The all-new Hard Rock Sports Bar is here at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Sacramento at Fire Mountain. Enjoy the ultimate 24/7 sports watching destination with 20 big screens with all the action for the premier game day experience. There's no other place you'd want to be to watch all the games with you and your friends. Now open at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Sacramento at Fire Mountain. For more details, visit casino.hardrock.com/Sacramento.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose the company I trust, Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan. Endurance handles everything, from making the claim to paying the certified mechanic of your choice. Act now and get 1 full year of elite benefits. A $2,000 value, free.
Call for your fast free quote today. Call 800-292-4382. That's 800-292-4382. 800-292-4382.
Everyone has a past, but what happens if you've made mistakes and made good on that past, but it keeps following you? Are you looking for an attorney to erase past records and restore your rights? Maybe even restore your gun rights? Do you need a reputable criminal defense attorney who knows even good people make bad mistakes? Well, the attorneys at Gonzalez Law Office are here to help. Find Gonzalez Law Office online at saclegaldefense.com or call them at 916-304-9187. We don't settle for less, and neither should you.
Savings abound at Elk Grove Honda during the Honda clearance event underway now. This is your final chance to drive home in a new 2025 Honda Accord, Pilot, or Ridgeline at Elk Grove Honda clearance prices. Right now is the right time to save, and if you're looking for pre-owned Hondas, Elk Grove Honda has a huge inventory. Visit the Elk Grove Honda 2025 Accord, Pilot, or Ridgeline clearance sale at Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Guys, it's time to know your numbers and what they mean. And right now, Revive Men's Health is offering a $400 comprehensive wellness panel for just $99. Free if you start treatment. Offer ends November 30th. Book today at revivemenshealth.com. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Cars and tank it up. Thank you, Jay. We've just been talking a lot about the Kings' big picture and all the frustrations. Coach Christie talked about how frustrating it is. Obviously, very frustrating for him, for the players. So Kayla and I, talking about all the frustrations fans have. And Jay took the wide shot and said, yeah. But, let's look big picture. What's really frustrating about this franchise and the fact that they've struggled for so long to put anything together. And as we're having this discussion and as we're comparing this to that Kings rebuild in 1998-99, which was incredible. By the way, I talked to Jerry about that. Jerry Reynolds said attendance was dwindling then, and there wasn't a lot of fan interest. And he said, if that hadn't worked, the team might not be here right now.
Jeez.
Yeah, because it was like, boom, 8 years in a row in the playoffs. Got to the conference finals. Some of those guys that they got that year, they were there for a long time. Some of them still live here. It was incredible. And not only did it put Sacramento on the national basketball map, Jerry says, oh, yeah, that might have saved the team in Sacramento. But my point is this, teams like the Kings right now, a lot of teams and a lot of sports talk about we're building a culture. And I don't know that you can, Kayla.
My experience covering teams of all sorts around the country, pros, college, mostly pros, right? When you're trying to really establish a culture with grown men or women, I almost feel like I've learned along my career, culture building kind of happens when it's unsaid, and it happens within the locker room, and the players create the culture. That is kind of throughout my career what I started to learn.
That's what I'm starting to believe,
and I
too.
learned it through players, really, who told me that. So I don't know if coming out and saying and I'm not saying that's not going to happen here, because they're trying to do something to rejuvenate or reset things, but you haven't seen any of it yet. But I think sometimes it's better left unsaid and just doing the work to get the players in here that then are going to build the culture they want to build.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I'm not saying it doesn't matter, but Kyle Ledbetter just popped in and he was talking about the OKC culture that they have right now, which is basically Shea. And Shea, when he's doing an interview, for example, saying, this is all of us. Yeah. But I'm also remembering OKC, when they had KD and they had Russell Westbrook, they didn't have that, but they had a pretty good culture. And it's interesting. The really good teams have really good culture. Mm-hmm. The teams with the best players, Jay, wow, look at that culture.
Yeah, I know. Then it's like, oh, yeah, that culture word, that C word. Ooh, we use that one a lot.
Yeah, even the Warriors, our culture. Yeah, when they had Steph and they had Clay, Draymond in his prime, then they bring in KD. Woo.
John Livingston.
Look at that culture.
There's a lot of right? Eagle Dollar.
Yeah. Gambate. Exactly. So if you have really good players who care and want to win and figure it out amongst themselves, all of a sudden, no matter what the GM says or the owner or the coach about we're doing this, all of a sudden, boom, hey, we got a culture.
Mm-hmm. And it's easier said than done. I'll tell you that much. And you can, what is Doug Christie's, I didn't see, I told you guys I was going to study the word.
You mean
Scott
Bad job by you, Kayla.
I know,
Bad
guys.
job by
I
you.
dropped the ball on
Todd,
this.
Professional, accountable, competitive, tough, team-oriented, and disciplined.
Right, and I get all those things, and that's a great thing to strive for. But I think right now it's so early on to say, hey, we're gonna have all these this season. That's just unrealistic with what you have roster-wise, and that's not Doug Christie or Scott Perry's fault right now completely. Mm-hmm. They were kind of given the roster they were given. But, you can't just come out and say, this is going to be our culture this year. I think that's hard to do. I think you could strive for it, But then that makes me think, is Doug, when he gets on the podium and he does, his speeches and everything, and he's had some fiery ones as of late, is he kind of speaking to more of the youth because he's trying to start that movement? Because I don't think the veterans are necessarily like, oh, yep, we got to do that. We're only going to be here probably another year, but we're going to do that.
The one thing I'll say on Doug's behalf as far as that goes is, to me, the consistency in his messaging has been defense, defense, defense.
Uh-huh.
Now, I know right now it doesn't look like it's doing any good, but at least we know from how he played that he feels that, and that's really part of his DNA, and that's what he's talked about. Again, they're not doing it, but it's not these far-flung high ideals. It's like, you got to defend.
Right. And you have to start somewhere, right?
Yeah. I'm remembering, Jay, when Mike Brown was here, and he came in and they had the 48 wins and the team was great. And there was a lot of talk at the time. We probably said it. Wow, Mike Brown brought a culture here. I don't know. I mean, they played well and everything came together and they won games. That's where the culture came from. I don't think it was nothing against Coach Brown, but I don't think it was him going, here you go, guys. There's your culture. Now we're set.
No, agreed. I'm with you. One of the easiest scapegoats in sports is the firing of a coach, firing of a GM, talking about a front office. Man, I'll say this. As a player, as someone is at the time, not anymore, where, oh, man, the bonus of playing in college and having a scholarship is you get your schooling paid for you. And that was the pressure. It was, you're getting something that other individuals don't get. And I say all of that and moving on up in baseball, whatever you want to call it. A lot of it has to do with the players, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The players are getting off the hook nowadays. Big money. Tremendous amount of money. But it's like a catch-22, and I'll give you an example. How many times, and I just saw this about LT was doing an interview or something, he's talking about Joe Montana versus Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. I used to see this in music when I worked in music a lot of times from younger artists. The OG artists talk bad about us because we don't have to do what they used to have to do. Mm-hmm. And we have it easy. You guys set the pavement. That's the great part about it. But what's so interesting is when you're an OG and you're talking about young people, and I'm using this as an example, a lot of the youngsters always say, well, you're hating. You're a hater. You're hating on what we're doing. But what OGs are always saying is we set the precedent for you. Pay the homage, pay the respect, but keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? So with that being an example, that's part of where we're at is I just truly feel a lot of players, and we can use it for the Kings. A lot of players are getting off the hook too soon, too quick. You see it in college. Guys are getting canned 6 games in. And it's on the coaching staff. Now, some of the players got to go out there and play too, though.
Yep.
You can't just continuously keep getting blown out by 40. That doesn't work.
We'll come back, continue the conversation, and also look at how the Kings are going to win tonight. Next, Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh, winter is coming. How's your HVAC system holding up? You know, you might want to get to Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. They've got some great specials available now, so you can make sure your system is up and running. If you need a new system, that's the place to go. That's what we did last winter. Friend recommended we check out Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. As I think I might have mentioned, our heater went out last year. Yeah, so we contacted Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. They came out, set us up with a great new unit. They were ready to come out the day we called. We had them come out the next day. Point is, same day, next day, appointments are available. 100% satisfaction guarantee. Think about that for a minute. You can't do better than that. 4.8 stars on Google. They've won awards with that service that they dazzled us with, and they spend more than 40 years serving the Valley's HVAC heating, plumbing needs. You can trust Lee's with installation and repair of, by the way, your AC, furnace, water heater, residential, commercial plumbing repair, commercial HVAC services too. Find out more at leesair.com and check on the specials going on right now to help you get ready for the cold weather. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. Let them take care of you the way they took care of us, treating us like family. Set us up with an HVAC system that has improved our quality of life and the air that we breathe. It's been cold even the last few nights, but at Whitey Woods, toasty warm thanks to Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. Lee'sAir.com, license number 635355.
Get Black Friday savings during the Happy Honda Days excitement going on now at Stockton Honda, Northern California's best Honda dealer. You'll score big with low payments, top trade-in value, and a huge selection of new Hondas. Don't wait. The clock is ticking at StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on the results of the study recognized on June 18, 2025, USA Today's list of California's top car dealers 2025.
Staples presents an easy holiday.
My holiday list was a mile long.
Fa la 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 boo hoo hoo.
Staples made it easy with big savings on tech gifts.
I'm listening.
And I saved big on custom holiday cards, too. Plus, Staples has UPS shipping in store.
Holy flying reindeer. Shop Staples today for 60% off custom cards, invites, wrapping paper, labels, stamps, and photo gifts.
That was easy.
In-store and online expires 12/20. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-838-6767. That's 800-838-6767.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
At Bank of America, we asked our teammates, what makes this company a great place to work?
There's very little that you can't accomplish working for Bank of America.
If you prove yourself, you can try over in a totally new way.
You can learn so much here. You're the owner of your career.
See how our teammates are growing in their careers at bankofamerica.com/great place to work. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
Vanity Fair calls BritBox a delicious streamer. Collider says everyone should be watching. Catch Britain's next best series with BritBox. Stream acclaimed new originals like Code of Silence.
You read lips, right?
And Linley, based on the best-selling mystery series.
Say hi, Linley. Take it from here.
And don't miss the new season of Karen Piri, coming this October.
You don't look like police.
I'll take that as a compliment. See it differently when you stream the best of British TV with BritBox. Watch with a free trial today.
Get more value for your money with the new owners at Elk Grove Chevrolet. Right now, supplier pricing is available to everyone, making it easier than ever to drive home in your dream car. Check out the amazing Black Friday specials online, like up to $11,000 off the 2025 Silverado 1500. Choose from a wide selection of new and used Chevrolets, plus flexible financing and expert maintenance. Visit them today and experience the difference. MyElkGroveChevrolet.com, where savings and service come standard.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Like the beam for Sacramento Kings. We the beam team, ayy. Like the beam for Sacramento Kings. Like the beam. Like the beam for Sacramento Kings.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Taking you up to game night, bottom of the hour. It's a game night, Kayla.
Yes, it is.
Early game night.
Early game night. I kind of like it, though. We get off the air. We get to listen to, all the goodies to get us up to the game. And then, boom, you're not in bed too late.
Right. And you get on with your evening. You have other things to do after the game.
Yeah, and maybe they'll let you sleep tonight. Because last night, I didn't sleep at all. I'm not going to say the Kings didn't allow me to sleep. There was other factors to it. But, getting a win, I feel like I would sleep like a baby tonight.
Yeah. So you were, I mentioned this because you mentioned it earlier, not stranded on the freeway, but just kind of stuck there with your car, just kind of.
Yeah, it's almost worse because if your car can't go over 24 miles an hour when everyone else is going 65 and above, and no one knows why, even if you have your flashers on and they're honking at you, you really get in a little bit of a, my heart was going and I was just trying to get over. That's all I was trying to do. So when that happens
That's all
to
I'm
you
trying
in
to
the
do every day.
moment,
I'm just trying to get over.
You're trying to get
Yeah.
over, you know? And
Yeah.
so, but it all worked out. It all worked out, but there is some car bug going around. So beware, be prepared out there.
What you just said reminds me of what I used to say about the Kings last year with Kyle Draper. And Kyle Draper, I think, actually is like, yeah, he understood what I was saying.
KD, my man.
There's a stretch between here and, well, actually, between here and you go back, like, to the Bay Area, like through Fairfield on 80, and people just
haul.
It's like the California version of the Autobahn.
There you go.
Yeah. And sometimes over the last few years, I think the Kings and Kings fans have felt like you're in the slow lane. Yeah. Or even if you're in the fast lane, you think you're going fast, and then some of the other teams in the West just.
Yep.
And that's where they are right now. It reminds me of where you were yesterday. I think this Kings team right now is like, this thing won't go.
Just get us over.
We're just trying to get off on the.
Yes.
Yeah, pull over on the shoulder.
And to put that even further, this is the end of a road trip where it's been slow going in the fast lane. And so to be able to maybe get off to the side like I did and try to restart, or get a tow.
Yeah.
Like maybe they can end this road trip with a victory
Maybe
tonight
so.
in Memphis.
Yeah.
To kind of restart something with Keegan Murray back. And I did want to clarify something real quick, guys, because I think there was some confusion in the chat in particular about my statement on the veterans not buying in. That's not what I necessarily meant.
Okay.
What I meant, because to tell you the truth, I think as a team as a whole, the attitude, at least that I have seen, has been buy-in as much as they can.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that I was really portraying was the fact that Doug Christie is going and he's saying these things and he's got some fiery pressers. And I think he's trying to just stick with what he's saying and the bottom line, more so because he's trying to just build that with the young players now.
And I think you were talking about Zach LaVine, right? Where Zach said,
Zach's
personnel. Yeah.
Exactly. And Zach said some things, but it's not like he's been a poor sport.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to clarify that a little bit.
That gets back to that whole picking up for 94 feet thing, which is talked about, and they just don't do it. And when you look at it, they really can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as far as the
we
people
go.
on the freeway,
Yeah.
I feel like the Kings are kind of, trying to get off the shoulder, and you've got these teams that were behind you last year. What was that?
They're ramming
That was the
you.
Lakers, and what was that?
Yeah.
That's the freaking Suns.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? The Suns just passed us?
They were supposed to be out of gas, like
Yeah.
a mile back.
Yes.
Wait a minute. The
We went
Suns,
by-
the Suns crap by us?
We went by there at Marine World. They were just puttering along, and now,
Where'd they catch us at? Dixon or where?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a little
Not a
rough
bad
right
way
now.
to look at it.
Yeah, but I think they win tonight. I do. Just
Yeah.
I think so
because-
too.
Yeah, and not because they deserve it or because they're doing this or that. But Memphis is terrible. Memphis can't score. Memphis has a lot of injuries, and I know the Kings are on their second night of a back-to-back. I suspect tomorrow a lot of people are going to be talking about, even tonight, wow, the Kings defense looks much better. And I think it's going to look much better because Memphis
Is not great right
couldn't
now.
throw a ping pong ball in the American River.
Who's starting for Memphis?
That's a great question.
Like with so many guys out, who's starting for them?
Yeah, and I would say, because I don't even know if they've gotten the official word on Jaren Jackson yet, but it looked like he was not going to play. I mean, he was doubtful. They don't
Somebody
have Ja.
in this room, and not me or Jay, might have had inside information that questionable is like almost overly optimistic for him.
The opposite way.
Oh, okay.
Doubtful. I was
Right.
I was getting some, little
You wouldn't be surprised if
birdies
you
You
over
got
there.
sources? Kayla, is that what you're
She
saying?
does, Jay.
Okay,
And I'm not
well,
setting her
please.
up as well as I mean to.
Say
there,
that with your
but-
chest now.
Yeah.
I don't think he will play tonight.
Okay,
I'm not
fair enough.
saying that
Yeah,
that's,
yeah.
word the word.
I'm loud.
But it's a good question. Who the heck are they playing? I will say this. They got two young guns from Washington State that have played pretty well, including, I don't know if you heard, Draymond Green went on the podcast and was talking about some of their young players, but Cedric Coward in particular.
Yeah.
That's a Washington State player that they moved up to draft this year. He's actually the one that he scored, I think, the team high 19 points against the Spurs the other night when they crumbled in the fourth quarter, which that's been their bugaboo the last couple of games.
Yes, it certainly has. To that point here, in a 108-100 loss Saturday at Cleveland, the Grizzlies scored 16 points in the final quarter. Tuesday at San Antonio, in the fourth quarter, they lost. They scored 14 in the final quarter.
Oof. Yeah, that's not going to be. I was watching that San Antonio game, by the way, and I was like, yeah, they're in this game. Like, it looked good. And then, like you said, the fourth quarter came and it all came crashing down.
Yeah.
And it did remind me of something that we've been watching here.
Right.
A movie here called
That
The Fourth
said,
Quarter.
Yeah, and I don't know about you or you, Jay. I'm not guaranteeing nothing. You know, don't
Say it with your
misunderstand me.
chest.
I think the Kings win tonight, but I'm not guaranteeing anything.
Yeah. I think they win too, but they still have to play one of their best games. They don't have to be perfect, but they have to be pretty clean.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got to have their shots got to fall, especially late in the games when they usually don't, because you can't leave it margin for error in any teams in the NBA.
I think if the Kings have a decent to pretty good offensive night and they can avoid Memphis just burying threes, which they don't really do, but it happens sometimes with the Kings. But short of those two things, I think the Kings, for what it's worth, get the W tonight. And then it's like, yay, okay, now what? You know, I'm not even sure that's good.
It's
big
just,
picture.
I guess, good to break a streak as bad
Well,
as theirs
sure,
is.
there you go.
7 in a row.
You play to win the game.
Yeah, maybe they can string a couple in a row. Would that be possible? But,
well, let's slow down.
Oh, I'm pumping my
what
brakes.
What are we rooting for here?
I'm on the freeway. I'm pumping my brakes.
Yeah. See if that, I know everyone's saying this, see if that beam still works, right, Jay? Get that thing fired up tonight.
Oh, the beam still works.
Of course it does.
Of course it does.
Of course it does.
By the way, that I was sad to hear that was AI song that Alan was pumping up on his show the other day.
Oh, okay.
The light, the beam. Alan Stiles said that, it was AI.
Okay. I know a lot of people I just heard that once on Dave's show, so forgive me, I'm not entirely familiar with
it was the light, the beam
particulars on it. And
kind of song.
I think the person who did that might actually be
Oh, is it?
okay. In the chat
is he in the
here.
chat?
Yeah.
I know. I was kind of bummed. I was like, man, that's a really good voice.
Yeah, a lot of people really like that. So
I still like the
see
song,
about
though.
that. Yeah.
Not going to lie.
It's just, that's good because it's talking about how things are not what we wish they were, right?
It was actually if you listen to the song.
Well pointed.
Yeah.
Which is good because, we had a run of, songs that were celebrating Light the Beam and we're so proud. And right now those aren't playing as well because, they just don't reflect the way people are feeling about it as much.
The mood's kind of, it's a little bit lower, but, sometimes the truth hurts, but you got to hear it.
Yeah, yeah. So, I don't even know. I apologize. I need to brush up on that song. But, yeah, I heard it on Dave's show, and it hit the nail on the head pretty much about how fans are feeling about
but
this.
I think a win tonight, guys. What are you thinking? I'm thinking, yeah.
I think so.
I mean,
I'm not going to guarantee it like you are, but.
Oh, yeah. I shouldn't guarantee anything.
No,
I should know better now. Yeah.
But then the other news today, well, that's not news yet. Hopefully it will be. But the news, of course, is that Domantas Sabonis is going to be, according to Shams, he's out with a torn meniscus. That's why he's had that sore knee, and he's going to be reevaluated in 3 to 4 weeks. And that's kind of the way things go when they're not going your way. You finally get Keegan Murray back, and now, all right, here we go. At least we can see what we got here.
Yep.
Nope,
not going to happen. So they're going to have how many different starting lineups they're going to add to it tonight because they're going to have Keegan Murray back. So it's going to look different for that fact. But now they're not going to have Domas. So it's like, what's this one going to look like? And I did want to ask you about in terms of the start thing yesterday. I think that's really important tonight is the start in terms of just setting the tone.
I was so happy last night, Kayla, because
I
they got
know.
off to a decent start. And also, I don't know if you remember, but I said, boy, I hope they only have no more than 2 quarters where they give up 30 points. They gave up 31 in the second and 30 in the fourth. I was like, this is great.
Exactly.
I'm so happy.
I mean, you really did. Hey, Doug's message, though, again, the messages are not being fully answered, but I do feel like they do try to do what he's preaching.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't think that they have the full, right roster to do it.
Yeah. For me, the game last night was about as, obviously you want to see him win a lot of games, but there was a lot of upside, except I would have liked to have seen the youngsters play more. Maxime played 18 minutes. I want to see him play more, and I think I understand why they don't play him more. Maybe I don't, but he played 18 minutes last night. I'd like to see Nick Clifford play more. Not to belabor that whole argument, but to me, that's what I'm looking for this year. If they win, that's great. If they're competitive, yeah, we need to see them be more competitive, but I do want to see the youngsters play and continue to develop. And I think that's vitally important to whatever the plan is going forward.
I think you have to, and Maxime in particular, if you're going to start playing him in terms of you don't have Domas right now, and I know there's other guys in front of him possibly, but why not? Why not just put him out there at this point and get him as much time and as confident as he can? But here's the thing. Keegan's coming back in the lineup, so now who's going to have their minutes cut even more? Because we've already talked about Ellis. We've talked about Nick Clifford's minutes not being there. So who's next? Someone's going to lose some minutes.
Right. Also tonight we have Thursday Night Football, which normally you can hear here on our station. Not tonight because we have Kings basketball. It's interesting to me, Kayla, if we can just talk football for just a little bit here.
Okay.
The games that are bookending the NFL weekend, the game tonight, Thursday night game, and then the Monday night game with the 49ers, both of them, I think, have potentially significant playoff ramifications.
So we're talking about the Monday night football game for the Niners in particular to start this.
Right. Well, we start tonight with Bills and Texans.
Yes, we do start with Thursday
Here's where
night
I'm
football.
going with this, and I don't know if you put any stock at all into playoff probability, but the Texans are on the outside looking in right now. They're 8th. According to these playoff probabilities, NFL.com, their current chance to make the playoffs is 30%. If they lose, it's down to 22. If they win, it goes all the way up to 47. So that's a big potential swing.
Yeah.
So that's a big game for them. And then as far as the 49ers and Panthers go, for the Panthers, they're currently at 19. If they somehow, some way win that game, their playoff chances go up, according to this, to 34%, 1-3.
Which is a little crazy. We're talking about the Panthers in general being a playoff possible team.
Yes.
I think it's a long shot. I think Dave Canales has done some good things down there, but they still have the lack of talent. I just don't think they have enough talent right now to compete for a playoff spot. But stranger things have happened. I just think the Niners getting Purdy back, getting some of their offensive weapons back. I know the defense is still the bugaboo with them, but they should beat the Panthers. And then would really decrease the Panthers'
But you can see how the Panthers could beat them. I mean,
I could
run the ball.
I could see that.
Run the ball.
Yeah, that's the way that you would do it. But they would have to keep up offensively, I think, with the Niners.
So in the NFC, the Lions are 8th, and they're certainly in it. The Bears are 3rd right now. The Panthers are 9th. And I think after that, can we just at this point say, thanks for coming, Cowboys and Vikings?
It's almost like they hang around sometimes. We saw the Cowboys and the Raiders.
Yeah.
But what are we talking about here? I feel bad because I know the Raiders, loyalty is big here, and they need a quarterback. I don't think Geno, he's not going to be the long-term answer. They've got a great running back, but they need a line.
You sure turn your back on Geno fast. That's all I'm saying.
I love the guy. He gave himself a second chance, but there's no offensive line there, and they got to fix that before anything. But my point being is the Cowboys beat them handily, but at the same time, the Cowboys are not great.
Yeah, according to this, and again, these numbers may not be right, but the Cowboys currently chance to make the playoffs 6%. If they beat the Eagles, it goes up to 11%.
Just goes to show, right?
Yeah, so,
not a lot.
By the way, did you see what Geno said after the game about blame me?
No, I didn't.
Because, it's the quarterbacks. It's, when things don't go well, blame me. And he says, it's like I always tell you, blame me. He said, if your kids aren't doing well in school, blame me. He's tired of it,
Yeah.
I think he said, your car breaks down.
Blame me.
Blame me.
All right, Geno, I'm blaming you about my car.
Yeah, just blame me for everything.
I do like him. I've always liked him. I'm glad that he reset his career, but there's only so much you can do, like I said, with an organization right now that's just trying to figure out exactly what they are and how they're going to go about their business moving forward.
You look at the teams in the AFC on the bubble. We'll get back to the Kings in just a moment, but Texans are 8th, Chiefs are 9th, and Ravens are 10th.
Never saw that coming.
Right now, out of the playoff picture in the AFC.
Missing Lamar hurt.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely hurt them. By the way, that defense, too, has not been what it was supposed to be.
Right. Neither has the Bills. The Bills are 5th right now with the Broncos, Patriots, and Colts. 1, 2, 3. Crazy.
But a big win. They got Allen back in the groove, but they're going to have to kind of have him do enough tonight, too, because that defense for Houston is nothing to shrug off.
Right.
It's a good defense.
Yeah. I wish C.J. Stroud was back. Hope he gets back soon. Yeah.
And that's still a question of, like, what is C.J. Stroud? Like, who is C.J. Stroud? Is he who he was in his rookie season? Can he get back to that? We still don't know the answer on that, too.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big question mark.
I still think he's a good quarterback.
Mm-hmm. I do, too. I just think that there's been issues with the line there. The offensive coordinator situation, that's not seemed to work out in the last couple of seasons. So
he hasn't gotten the organizational support that ideally he would get. But then you can say that about a ton of quarterbacks in the NFL.
But I still believe in him. I watched him a lot at Ohio State. I believe he's a dude.
Yeah. So based on your time in the great state of Tennessee, tell us about the Memphis Grizzlies and
what's left of them.
What's how popular are they?
In
Memphis.
It's really interesting, the state of Tennessee, and I think I've come on here before and said this. Nashville and Memphis are rivals in terms of they just don't like each other. And Memphis got the basketball team. Tennessee, Nashville got the football team.
And the hockey team.
And the hockey team. And now, they got MLS there, too.
And they're probably going to get baseball, too.
And they're probably going to get baseball. But here's the thing. They just, it's weird. Like, they didn't embrace the Grizzlies in Nashville. Why not? You don't have an NBA team.
Yeah.
Why aren't you embracing the Memphis Grizzlies?
And pardon my ignorance, I think you've told me before, but how far is it?
If it's like a 2.5-hour drive,
okay.
Not long.
Okay.
But it's just because the city, it's also, it's old school down there, and the cities just don't like each other. And so neither of them really embrace each other's teams. Me being a person like, whatever's in the state, I'm going to love it.
Sure.
Me being from Spokane, and I've rooted for all the Seattle teams. We don't like Seattle either, really, as a Spokane as a city, but I'm a root for my teams.
Right.
So I never understood that.
But even in Tennessee, you talked about the beam?
Yes, we did. When that beam was lighting, we brought it up on our show, and I thought it was the coolest thing, and I had heard about it through my brother and sister-in-law who live here. I thought that was the coolest thing, and we brought it up on our show and talked about it, and people were like, whoa, they were looking it up and like, oh, this is a cool thing. Representing the city.
Hopefully they can flick it back on tonight.
I hope so.
Like their chances.
I think they can. And take advantage of all the injuries that Memphis has. And look, they don't have their stuff together either right now. That offense is not clicking. There's frustration there as well. So
I'm wondering here as we look at the Domas timetable, and again, for those who perhaps didn't hear, Domantas Sabonis, according to Shams, he has a torn meniscus, and that's why he's been out, and he's going to be out for 3 to 4 weeks before he's even reevaluated. So if you're the Kings, obviously a lot of people who have been in tank mode are like, well, that settles it. There's no way you could do anything else. But could you? Could you say, look, 3 to 4 weeks, as bad as the bottom of the West is, could you maybe, if you can find your way through there, the schedule's getting easier, Keegan's back, maybe if you can just hang in there, maybe when Domas comes back, maybe you make a run at a play-in spot. Is that in any way, shape, or form remotely reasonable?
Well, it's always possible, Kevin. I never like to say anything's impossible, but I think it would have been a better bet if you got Keegan back and you had Domas now. It just puts him even more behind when now he's out maybe more than 4 weeks. We don't know. He's going to be reevaluated.
Yeah, because again, right now, the Kings are 3-12, but the 10 seed Utah's 5-9.
Yeah.
And the Clippers are 4-10. The Memphis Grizzlies are 4-11. Dallas is 4-12, and the Pelicans.
Look at your face right now.
2-13.
Yeah, that's like a sour face right there. Let's just start with the win tonight.
There you go.
I think that's where you start.
That's a great place to start. Yes.
Whitey, what's the Grizzlies head coach?
Yeah,
Thomas Isalo?
Isalo. I love how you say it. That's why I kicked it over.
I don't even know if that's right, but that's how I'm saying it.
That's why I went to you.
Thank you.
He just clarified Triple J has been ruled out tonight.
Aha.
So
where did we hear that?
So my source in Memphis was
Tomas Isalo.
Sources?
It'll be a rough night
Hey,
for
you got
Tomas
sources.
Isalo.
Maybe one.
Yeah, stick around. Game night coming up with the High Flyer. And Scott Marsh next, Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the Roseville Auto Mall.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Expect skies to be clearing overnight, allowing for some areas of fog to develop by Friday morning. After the fog burns off, expect mostly sunny skies and temperatures warming into the low 60s. Get the latest forecasts on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
Winning 1K is easy. Just turn the key for a G. Take a test drive at any dealership at the Roseville Auto Mall to be entered to win. The Roseville Auto Mall is giving away $1,000 every day through December 19th. Turn the key, take the drive, and win a G. Only at the